One common situation that you will find yourself in is when your opponent does not castle, when your opponent keeps king in the center. Whether you are a beginner or you are an advanced player, you will find yourself in this situation again and again. When your opponent does not castle, then you should know how to attack your opponent's king. In such situations, there is one important principle that you need to know, and that golden principle is open the central lines. Yes, if your opponent has kept his king in the center and you want to attack that king, then you need to open the lines. Many times you will sacrifice your pieces and pawns to open the central lines so that your pieces can go toward the opponent's king and attack it. Let's see this position on the board. You have castled your king. Your king is completely safe behind these pawns, but the opponent king has not castled. You have developed your pieces, while on the other hand, opponent has not developed these pieces and he has kept his king in the center. So if you want to attack the opponent's king, then you need to open the center lines. These lines must be open so that your pieces can go toward the opponent's king and attack it. And how do you do it? You sacrifice your pieces or pawns in order to open the center lines. In this position, black played bishop cross f5. Black sacrificed his bishop, and black's idea is that now white will play e cross f5, and then you can push the pawn to e4. You will play e4, and now if white plays d cross e4, then your plan is successful. You will play rook cross e4 and the queen is under attack. The queen is pinned, and in the next move you can win this queen. And if white simply moves his knight, then you can capture the d3 pawn. And in this case also you have managed to open the e file for your rook, and now the queen is under attack. So now you are going to win the queen. That's why in this position, instead of capturing this pawn or moving the knight away, here white played king to d1. White simply moved his king away from the open file. And now you play e cross f3. You sacrificed a piece and now you got your piece back. After queen cross f3, you can see that you got this open file. Now you can use this open file to go near the opponent's king and try to attack it. We want to open the d file also. If the d file gets opened, then our queen can also join the attack. So that's why we play here pawn to d4. If these two pawns get exchanged, then the d file will be opened for our queen and the white's king will be under a lot of pressure. That's why here white played pawn to c4. White wants to keep this d file closed. Now we bring another piece into the game. We play knight to e5. Knight is attacking the opponent's queen and knight is also attacking this pawn. White plays queen cross b7, white captures a pawn, and we play knight cross g3, immediately recapturing. And our threat is to play knight to f2. It's a fork, attacking the king and the rook. So white played rook to f1, defending it, and now we can bring more pieces into the attack. We play knight to g4. Idea is to go to e3 square. So white plays queen to f3, bringing his queen back into the defense. And now we play knight to e3 check. It's a fork and we are forcing the white bishop to capture our knight. Then we play d cross e3, and now look, we have managed to open the d file. Now our queen is also in the attack. White will play king e2, and now this position is completely winning. You can capture the b2 pawn if you want. After knight cross b2, your threat is to play queen to d3 and it will be a checkmate. And look at the opponent's pieces. These pieces have not been developed by white, so our attack is completely winning. We managed to open the central lines at the right time, and now we are completely winning this game. Let me show you one more example of this situation. In this position, we are black. You can see we have castle and our king is safe behind these pawns. But look at the white's king. White king has not castled yet and white's king is in the center. Now you already know how to attack in such situations. In such situation, if you want to attack the opponent's king, then the best way is to open the central lines. How do you open the central lines? Look, these three pawns are protecting the white's king. We cannot play bishop to b4, we cannot use this open file, we cannot bring our knight into the attack because of these three pawns. And if we can manage to blow the center away and open the lines, then our pieces can join the attack. That's why white played rook cross d4. White sacrificed the whole rook so that center becomes open and our pieces will move forward and try to attack the opponent's king. White cannot play a move like c cross d4 because of bishop to b4, pinning this queen and winning it. That's why after rook cross d4, white played knight cross d4. And now we play knight cross d4. White cannot capture our knight with the queen because now we can play queen cross e2 and it's a checkmate. So let's say white tries to go long castle. White wants to move his king away from the center and safeguard his king. But then we can simply capture this bishop with check and we are completely winning. If white tries to go short castle, then also we can simply play knight cross e2 and winning the material. That's why white is forced to capture our knight with the pawn. And now look at the situation. The queen is pinning this bishop. Our bishop is also attacking it, but our rest of the two pieces have not joined the game. Without these pieces, we are not going to win the game. So what should black play in this situation? Here, black has a strong move. Black played bishop to b4, sacrificing the whole bishop, and we are also attacking the white's queen. White's queen is pinned. So if white plays queen cross b4, then we play queen cross e2 and it's a checkmate. That's why white played king f2. White does not have any other choice but to give up his queen to save his king. Now we play bishop cross d2. After bishop cross g4 check, we play pawn to f5. White captures our bishop and we capture white's bishop. Now the situation is completely winning for black. White's king is very exposed. We can bring our rook, we can try to attack it, and these pieces are not coordinated. And white also has a weakness on d4. If white plays a move like bishop to c3, protecting this pawn, then we play rook f8 check, we bring the rook into the attack, and this king is very weak. After king g3, we give another check, king cross g4, we start giving these checks. After rook to f6 check, king g4, queen check, and pretty soon it's going to be a checkmate. That's why in this position, instead of defending the pawn, white simply played rook h to e1, and now white can play queen cross d4, bishop e3, and you can play queen cross b2 check, winning more pawns. And because of the material advantage, black is completely winning. So let me tell you the golden principle one more time. If your opponent does not castle and keeps his king in the center, then the best way to attack the opponent's king is to open the center lines. You will sacrifice your pieces and pawns to open the center lines and then use other pieces to attack on the opponent's king. I hope you will use this idea in your game. Now let's go to the next lesson.